Okay, guys, finally wrapping this up. Sorry, it took me forever. It wouldn't save on my phone, and then I had to get my VIN inspection done for my new car. Okay, so yes, different location. I want to wrap up with saying, yeah, I've had all this stuff happen that is just totally like normal at this point. And I want to touch on the remote viewing experience because that was awesome, because I picked someone who was here in close proximity to me, and I could even go check it. So that was fun. And see how accurate I was. So I'll talk about that real quick. So we went in, and that's what those numbers are, the 426587, or was this, yeah, 426587. That was the number. So on one of the gateway tapes, you go into the remote viewing session, and at first he says pick a vector, or like pick something originally that you want to view. I picked in my mind, I want to view all of my ET contact, my experiencer experiences, and I want to dig deeper into what my conscious mind can't or didn't pick up on, like the subconscious stuff, like the whole thing. And then when we're going through the tape, he just hits you and he's like, there's an envelope, what's the 6-letter number in it? And I think even before he said 6 letters, I came up with 6 letters, and I was counting, and I was like, and then he said 6 letters, and I was like, oh good, well I already had 6 letters. And then he told you to remote view a person, to contact a person. Well, my mom was up here visiting at the time, and she has a camper. She loves camping, so she has a camper out on our property that she stays in when she's here, and she's here quite a lot. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick my mom, because then I can literally, and like I had to decide this like all like super quick. I'm like, I'm gonna go remote view my mom, because I want to go check and go back and check and see how accurate I was. And oh boy howdy. So I'm laying in my house, in my bedroom, with covers over my head, because I have a window right here, and even with the blinds closed, it's bright. And when I do these sessions, like I have my headphones on, I like to like sensory, like no noise, no light, and like nothing besides just being in that experience. So I'm remote viewing her, and I can see a coffee cup that looks empty from my angle, but then I literally see her walk over to the sink, and then I seen her sort of pace back and forth, or like walk somewhere else, and I seen her crunkled up like tissues beside her, and she was sitting there working. Now my previous knowledge is I knew she was in there having sessions, because she's like a remote therapist person. I knew that she was in there having sessions, so I knew she was already going to be on her computer. So I was trying to look for other details and see how accurate I got. And so I was focused on the tissue, on her movement, on this coffee cup. Did she get up and move it? All of this. So I see all of this happening. That session ends, and I like run outside, and I'm like, are you free? And she had like a free span of time, and I was like, okay. And so I walk into the camper, and I'm like, I look at the coffee cup, and from my view, it was empty, but if I like leaned over, I could see there was more in it. But I'm like, you moved this. And she was like, yes. I was like, you had it sitting over here, you got up, you did something at the sink, you walked over there. And I was like, and then I seen like a glimpse of like her possibly hitting her knee, or she hit her knee at some point in the past. So when I was remote viewing, then it sort of shifted into like past future, which it does that a lot. And then I was like, and you had that tissue, you have a crumpled up tissue, and right next to her was a crumpled up tissue. It wasn't even on like the table. And I was just like explaining. So I was pretty damn accurate. I got pretty much everything that she did. And I was like, yeah. And then I seen you get up from your table, and I seen you walk, like it looked like you were kind of walking to the back of the camper and then back up front. And she's like, yeah, I did. I walked to the bathroom and I came back. And then I was like, I seen you at the sink, and you were putting your coffee cup up. And then yeah, guys, sorry, my phone is crashing, because being a content creator, I have a lot of storage. But yeah, no, so I was like pretty damn accurate about every single thing that happened. And so that was so fun to go back and check myself. Yeah, also I want to add with the when I'm talking about like energy, I found that because I'm so sensitive to it, it's all around me, I can manipulate it really well. That's a huge source of like physical energy in my body, and lately, especially with the gateway process, I've been learning how to really use my mind to further support my energetic, like my energy in my physical body. But I think that's because everything's energy and life force is all around you. And I have some things that I do, but I'm not going to talk about them. But they're kind of like sacred. But yeah, I also like eat energy. So I wanted to clarify that. And yeah, finish up this freaking documentary, finish up all of this. And that image of me walking through the Gray's ship, I've had memories of not only looking at people behind glass things, but also being that person. Also, another really weird, strange thing that came up for me was like this blue liquid, and then I literally heard the word chromoplasm. That's been like popping up for me, and I'll like go into, as I go further through my gateway process and just uncovering this, kind of dig into that. And you have to understand that reality is not just what it is the furthest thing from what you can just see and perceive in front of you. It is way more vast, way more complex. And when you really get into like the higher consciousness spots in your brain, and when you're at these experiences where you can like frequency match things that you can't physically perceive, but like the being that popped in that was like tall, it looked like the tall gray or maybe the tall white, one of the two. It didn't have hair, so I think it was the tall gray. It had like a suitish, and the energy that was coming off the suit was sort of pink, and it was really tall and skinny, and it was right there. That's when my mom was doing the gateway process, and I was like, I was helping skip through the ads, because that is freaking annoying. I was helping skip through the ads, and I was sitting there cheering. And then when you're actually sitting with someone doing the gateway process, once they sink into it, the energy in the room shifts, and I can see like auras. And her aura got so bright and shiny and clear, and when that happened, the whole energy in the room started lifting. And then right out of the corner of my eye in the kitchen, it was just like whoop, maybe one of her guides, I don't know, just popped in, popped right back out. But once you lift your vibration and your energy, and you then you're able to perceive these things, and especially when you're synchronizing your brain waves, I mean, bro. But yes, that is finishing up with this. It has taken me all day, my phone crashing multiple times, and I'll see you next time. I'm just throwing this out here. I'm not looking for views, I'm not looking for any of that. I'm just getting the information out. That's why I'm just throwing it out, and I'm not worrying about editing and anything. Just my first encounter experience log, or biography of everything I've experienced, and all the knowledge that's kind of unraveling and connected to these experiences. And yeah, bye guys.